I thought FTKs were a thing of the past, but because of Vicous Amritara, Crimson Dragon, Bishbalkin, we now have an incredibly easy way to do it with only 2 cards out of the Mannadium archetype. And why I think everyone is going to have Mannadium on their radar now. I stick around for the deck profiles. I'll show you guys what I think is the best hybrid build, the most optimized build for the deck, and why I think is going to find you the most success. And that being said, stick around as well for the combo at the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the video. Okay guys, so to start off with the monsters, let's go into the Vicous Starfrost. This is the most important card of the deck. You have to run this at 3. It's going to help you trigger the Mannadium turret. It's going to help you trigger meat, but more importantly, this is your bridge into Vicous Amritara, your Synchro engine. I think with the new cards from Duelist Nexus, it just makes a lot of sense to see this card as much as possible. Next up, we are playing 3 of the Mannadium Realm Heart. This is your real star of the deck. As a quick effect, pop any Mannadium monster to special summon himself. So what you can do, what I don't see people do as much, but I've had a lot of success with, is to actually start by normal summoning a Mannadium tuner, and if your opponent was to try and remove it with say an Rise Heart quick effect, you can actually do a quick effect chilling free to pop it with the Realm Heart. You can search any Mannadium card. That's a pretty absurd effect, guys. Let's be honest. A normal monster that you can search, that's a level 4 warrior, and search any card in the archetype. Let's move on. We have 2 of the Mannadium Torrid. So I was heavily debating running this card at 3. So if you didn't know, Torrid is a hard once per turn, but you can bring out any Mannadium tuner. So we now have 5 copies of meat, which honestly is all we wanted as a Mannadium player. When Amritara can give you that OTK boost, you don't need Fearless anymore. Now, I'm not saying Fearless is completely rubbish. I'm just saying Torrid is way better because meat is the best, one of the best tuners in the game. I'm just going to say it. One right card, so I've gone back down to the very slim ratio for the Scarecrow package. I want things that are going to help break the board and help me, if I get disrupted, to also disrupt the opponent. And the way we do that is by playing cards like Kashtira Fenris. So Fenris is going to be really great in the Kashtira matchup. You could even go as far as to play Zeus and Kashtira Rise Heart, although I wouldn't recommend it in this deck. The extra deck is quite tight. You know, that doesn't mean we can't special this and go absolutely crazy. Take out Floodgates like Tikaboo, and then next up, Free Drawn Lockbird to take out the meta. Take out Dragon Link. It is our worst matchup in my opinion. The Bestials eat up the Vicous package for breakfast, so we're going to respect that matchup. We're going to respect Kashtira, Vicous and Avalon. You know, Labyrinth and Branded are still quite scary, and this card will not check them, but we are playing 3 Ash Blossom to make sure we check those decks. If you want to see a more crazy Frankenstein creative build, then stay tuned for my Mannadium Tournament deck. The only way I'm going to describe it for now is it feels like you're playing a single player story mode game as you go through all the planets and you summon some crazy monsters. Moving on to the spells and traps, we have 1 of the Scarecrow field spell. I think previously I was playing 2, and I think 2 is a great number, but because it's early on in the format, I want to respect the other decks by playing more hand traps. Now, in the new Crimson Dragon, Bishbalkin, Calamity combo, you're going to Baron ASAP. So I think for that reason, Arrival is really important now. We're playing 3 of the Calarium still. Mannadium Realm Heart is honestly a cracked card, guys. We want to make sure we find it as soon as possible. And we're playing 3 Abscission as well. So Abscission is going to help us find Calarium, because Amritara is basically going to find reframing for us. I feel like Abscission should be able to search something else in the deck, and I've been looking at Mannadium Breakheart as well as, you know, any other Mannadium card, such as One Imaginings that I am playing, because our Bishbalkin combo is so easy to do with only 2 cards. We want to make sure we find it as much as possible, and we're also going to end off with yet 1 reframing again. If you have a reframing on the field, a Baron on the field, a Bestial Dispower on the field, there is no way they're going to break that Calamity combo that you're going to do, because remember, reframing is a counter trap. That's, you know, the highest spell speed. Your opponent will not have a chainable card. Let's move on to some non-engine. Just going to quickly go through these for you guys. We're playing 3 Impermanents because I think this is going to be really important in the next format. Some other quick non-engine, Terraforming, Rotar, and something we're running that's a bit interesting. I've taken out Call by the Grave, by the way, and decided you can obviously play Crossout. You can play Call by the Grave. I am running good Crossout targets already. We run Dark Ruler, Feather Duster, 2 Triple Tactics Talent, and a Thrust. We want to focus on that hybrid build. Going first, if our opponent hand traps us, second Imperm is absolutely fine, and I'm more than okay with that. Talents and Thrust, you know, they're going to help us break that Kashtira board, do just about anything else, including the 1 of Dark Ruler and the 1 of Feather Duster. So that is it, guys, for the main deck. I know it's a bit short and snappy this time. I do have other videos if you want to check out my other Mannadium guide. I do have another video here on the channel where I summon every single hot boss monster, so make sure you guys go check that video. It is quite a fun one. Now it's time to move on to the extra deck, the spiciest part, the craziest part. Let's start off with the 3 craziest cards to ever exist. Honestly, guys, as a 5D fan, I could not be more happier seeing this card come to life as an actual monster. As a quick effect, target a Synchro monster you control, summon a Dragon Synchro that's the same level by tagging Crimson Dragon out. You summon Bishbalkin on our turn, tag out Crimson into the Calamities. With our negate board set up, they're not going to stop that, and Calamity is going to win us the game. So the reason why we play this and why it's so easy and why people are actually quite afraid of this is to summon Bishop Falcon, use a non-tuner and a tuner. Well, guess what, guys? Amritara is a level 8 Synchro. Vicious Astraloud is a level 8 non-tuner. So there we go. That is how we summon Bishop Falcon. Some Synchro 10s. You're going to notice something here. I've actually taken out Chaos Angel. So format is kind of still the same. There's no ban list yet. Runic is still at full power. I want to make sure I'm protected against the Runic cards, the Kashtira card. The Gimme Adrian is like kryptonite to them, and they're really terrified of this card. So I'm going to make sure I play this card just so we can still have a good matchup into those and not just be a complete glass cannon. Some Synchro 8s we're running don't actually need to run Axel anymore, which is a bit upsetting to say because I really like the card and I think it has a good place in this deck. However, I'm still going to run it because I do think summoning an Axel, if you've been disrupted, and just ending on that and a tuner has actually won me games where I summon an unaffected monster, for example, like a Baron, like the Gimme Adrian, and make a really annoying board state for them to deal with because it's completely unaffected. You definitely have to play Tri-Edge Master. Honestly, guys, this is Vicous' younger brother. This and a Mannadium tuner is going to give us Amritara, and that is super important. Some other cards we're running, 2 Vicious Astraloud. You would have seen 3 in my previous deck profile, and then just stuff you've seen before, which unfortunately is not that exciting. I think Appaloosa can be a lot of other things. You know, we aren't running Chaos Angel. Appaloosa may die by battle even more now. I miss Mannadium Primar. It's honestly one of my favorite synchros ever. And with the Amritara attack boost, you're going to summon a Primar, which should have 2 attacks if you use Amritara and a level 2 tuner. Add on the field spell stat boost, and that's an OTK. So hopefully Bishop Falcon gets banned, and that means the deck is not just an FTK simulator. But until then, we are going to run it like this. This just seems the most reliable, consistent, competitive. And stay tuned, I'm going to show you guys the combo to summon Bishop Falcon and Calamity. Let's get started. We're going to go ahead and normal summon the Mannadium Realm Heart. That's going to allow us to search for a Mannadium Abscission. Now, Abscission is going to help us to find Caleria, which will help us find Vicous Starfrost. The 1521 is on the field. Let's inherently summon the Meek. Let's activate Abscission. Let's pop Meek. That's going to give us the Primal Planet Calarium. Meek will go off as well, don't forget. You can make this level 4. I'm just going to make it level 4 anyway, just to be safe, in case we get disrupted. Let's activate Calarium. Let's search for the Vicous Starfrost. Now, I know you guys are thinking, yes, this combo ends up always falling into Nibiru, but there's actually a way to play around it. So I'll show you how we do that. Now, Vicous Starfrost is going to special itself by banishing the Abscission, and now you're starting to see maybe how we get to it, because we're going to summon Baron de Fleur as the 5th summons. That's going to mean we can't get Nibiru. If they have Nibiru Imperm, I guess they're just a better duelist. So yeah, now we have Baron de Fleur on the field. So now let's continue with the combo. We're going to banish the Mannadium Realm Heart and the Vicous Starfrost to summon a Vicious Astraloud. It's going to allow us to pop the Meek. And now Meek is going to trigger, and Chainly 2 of the Calarium is also going to trigger. Remember, Vicious Astraloud is also 3,900 at this point, because we popped an 1800 defense Meek, and Calarium is going to bring back the same Meek, even better. You know, we could even go into a Crimson Dragon, declare that Meek is a level 4. By tagging Crimson Dragon out, we can summon a Bestial Dispatter by targeting the Baron de Fleur. Honestly, such a crazy thing to say, but here we go. That is the state of Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. Bestial Dispatter is going to allow us to special summon the Vicous Starfrost. In the previous combo, this happened right at the end. In this combo, it's happening right now. And then we can link off the Vicous Starfrost. That's going to give us the Scarecrow Lightheart. Now we're going to go into the Scarecrow combo. You'll love to see it. Let's activate the Rhycophobia. That's for the Rhycar. And obviously, we are playing into Duel and Lockbed. There are some things that you just cannot beat. But 100% Crossout has to be in the side deck, guys. There is no way we can just let people get away with drawing us anymore, especially if we have an FTK combo set up to win us the game. I just made another misplay, guys, so make sure you don't do this at home. But Bestial Dispatter is going to be going defense mode, so we can special the Rhycar, draw 1, and search Scarecrow Rival. From here, guys, I'm going to activate Scarecrow Rival. That's going to give us the Vicous Starfrost back from the graveyard. Again, like I mentioned in the deck profile, we use a Rival quite nicely because of Amritara. We have a level 2 Meek on the field that came from the field spell. Let's make Vicous Amritara making his debut. Honestly, I'm such a big fan of this card. I absolutely love it. He's going to search us a Vicous spell or trap card, and this is where you search reframing. Even because we can find reframing this way, I still think we run 3 Abscission anyway, because it is basically a terraforming. Let's go ahead and use these 2 to summon the Crush Sheep into this arrow here. When we do summon Vicious Astraloud this time, we're going to be able to bring back a monster from the graveyard, giving us a tuner back from the graveyard. So next up in the combo, we're going to go ahead and use these 2 as material. It's going to give us Crimson Dragon. We can summon it again. We want to still end on Appaloosa because we control Vicous Starfrost, because Amritara counts as Vicous Starfrost. We can bring back Lightheart from the graveyard. Now it's time. Let's summon the Bishop Falcon using the Amritara and the Vicious Astraloud. And now we can use its effect to give tokens to each of the field. And keep in mind, this token that you give to your opponent is going to shut off Evenly Matched. Let's go ahead and use the token. Let's go ahead and use Lightheart and Crush Sheep, and let's summon the Apples Above the Goddess. And to wrap things off, let's set the reframing. Because Mannadium reframing is a counter trap, nothing the opponent does will be able to chain after it. If anything, we want the opponent to activate stuff so we can block the chain, so Calamity is resolved. Now it's the opponent's draw phase. Let's activate Crimson's effect, target Bishbalkin, tag itself out, summon the King Calamity, activates effect. The opponent cannot activate anything. The opponent can't do nothing. Your opponent is going to lose the game. And there we go, guys. That is the combo that I really wanted to show you guys, why this deck is super scary at the moment, and why I do think people are going to run more hand traps now. And that's been the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. Let me know if you're going to be playing Mannadium in the Duelist Nexus format. What version are you thinking of running? I definitely am looking forward to trying out Mannadium tournament at my next locals. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.